This is a warning for the progressives that are in office right now. You guys are probably not going to last there very long. It's not me saying that. It's just that that's what happens with progressives in office. They don't last very long. They get primaried, or they're made to step down, or they resign for some reason or another. Just understand that you're not going to have very long there. So you need to get what you can get done. You need to get it done now, today. Especially because there's more than one of you finally. There's a group of you. It's been a long time since we've seen a group of progressives that are there together at the same time, that can work together as a group to get stuff done. Just check out what some of these senators and Congress people did all by themselves. This was when they were by themselves. They didn't have a group of people behind them. They were just by themselves. Look at Cynthia McKinney. This was right after 9/11.
Lady from Georgia, Ms. McKinney.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, I watched President Bush deliver a moving speech at the United Nations in September 2003, in which he mentioned the crisis of the sex trade. The President called for the punishment of those involved in this horrible business. But at the very moment of that speech, DynCorp was exposed for having been involved in the buying and selling of young women and children. While all of this was going on, DynCorp kept the Pentagon contract to administer the smallpox and anthrax vaccines and is now working on a plague vaccine through the Joint Vaccine Acquisition Program. Mr. Secretary, is it policy of the U.S. government to reward companies that traffic in women and little girls? That's my first question. My second question, Mr. Secretary, according to the Comptroller General of the United States, there are serious financial management problems at the Pentagon, to which Mr. Cooper alluded. Fiscal year 1999, $2.3 trillion missing. Fiscal year 2000, $1.1 trillion missing. And DOD is the number one reason why the government can't balance its checkbook. The Pentagon has claimed year after year that the reason it can't account for the money is because its computers don't communicate with each other. My second question, Mr. Secretary, is who has the contracts today to make those systems communicate with each other? How long have they had those contracts? And how much have the taxpayers paid for them? Finally, Mr. Secretary, after the last hearing, I thought that my office was promised a written response to my question regarding the 4 war games on September 11th. I have not yet received that response, but would like for you to respond to the questions that I've put to you today, and then I do expect the written response to my previous question, hopefully by the end of the week.
Boy, this woman, she has some balls. Those questions were so hard. She took so much heat for them. She ended up getting fired, and then she came back and started to ask the tough questions again anyway. And again, they got rid of her. But there's no way that anybody will ever forget her name. How about Ellen Grayson? Think about the health care now. It's the same. It's the same as it was when Ellen Grayson made this stand for, a better health care system then.
That's what the Republicans have in mind for you, America. That's the Republicans' health care plan. But I think that the Republicans understand that that plan isn't always going to work. It's not a foolproof plan. So the Republicans have a backup plan in case you do get sick. If you get sick, America, the Republican health care plan is this: die quickly.
I know he'd be for Medicare for all, 100%. Even Al Franken. He's gotten a lot of progressive things through all by himself. He managed somehow to get stuff done.
Dr. Got Roth. I think we disagree on whether healthcare reform, the healthcare reform that we're talking about now in Congress should pass. And you said that kind of the way we're going will increase bankruptcies. I want to ask you how many bankruptcies because of medical crises were there last year in Switzerland?
I don't have that number in front of me, but I could find out and
I can tell you how many it was.
get back to you.
It's 0. Do you know how many medical bankruptcies there were last year in France?
I don't have that number, but I can get back to you if you like.
Yeah, the number is 0. Do you know how many were in Germany?
From the trend of your questions, I'm assuming the answer is 0, but I don't know the precise amount, and I would have to get back to you.
Well, you're very good. You're very fast. The point is that I think we need to go in that direction, not in the opposite direction. Thank you.
These are people that we remember for a reason. They did their jobs like they're supposed to. The American people, like you guys are supposed to be. You've got a group of you now. You can put your foot down as one unit and say, listen, we're not voting for this, this, or this until we get X, Y, and Z. Do you understand the power that you hold right now? Because we do, and we're watching. I'm just unimpressed. You guys aren't doing nothing. Why are you even there? Maybe you should ask yourself that question. Why are you there? And then let us know when you find out what the answer is, please.